Hello students, now the second part of exercise 4.3, and here we are starting with question number 4, and the question number 4 of exercise 4.3 is the sum of the reciprocal of Rahman's age 3 years ago and 5 years from now is 1 by 3. Find his present age. The sum of the reciprocal of the Rahman's age 3 years ago and 5 years from now. Clear? So let the Rahman's present age be x years and 3 years ago age x minus 3 years. After 5 years the age x plus 5 years, right? But the question is saying the sum of the reciprocals, So here sum of the reciprocal of the ages 3 years ago, that is x minus 3. What is the reciprocal of this age? 1 upon x minus 3. And 5 years from now the age will be x plus 5 years. What is the reciprocal of this? X plus 5 is 1 upon x plus 5. And the question is saying the sum of these two is equal to 1 by 3. The sum of the reciprocal of these two ages is equal to 1 by 3, right. So, we have 1 upon x minus 3 plus 1 upon x plus 5 is equal to 1 by 3. On the left hand side you can take LCM. This is x minus 3 and x plus 5. So, x minus 3 into x plus 5 is the LCM, and the numerator we have x plus 5 into 1, that is x plus 5 plus x minus 3, and upon x minus 3 into x plus 5 is equal to 1. Now, solve the numerator. This is x plus x is 2x and 5 minus 3 is 2. So, 2x plus 2 is the numerator, and when you multiply x with this x you get x square, and x with this 5 we have 5x, minus 3 with x is minus 3x, and minus 3 with plus 5 is minus 15, right. So, finally, the denominator comes x square plus 2x minus 15, and the numerator is already we have 2x plus 2 is equal to 1 by 3 here. Now, cross multiply it, and finally, the equation is x square minus 4x minus 21 is equal to 0. This is a final quadratic equation, and now solve for x by using quadratic formula, right. So, by using quadratic formula we need to find the value of a, that is the coefficient of x square. Here the coefficient of x square is 1, so a is 1. Coefficient of x is minus 4, so b is minus 4, and the coefficient of rather the constant term is minus 21, so c is minus 21. So, we know that discriminant is b square minus 4 ac. So, value of b is minus 4 whole square, and minus 4 into a is 1, into c, that is minus 21. So, minus 4 whole square is 16, and minus 4 into 1 into minus 21 becomes 84. 16 plus 84 is 100, and which is greater than 0. So, in this case we have two distinct roots, right. So, again by using quadratic formula we have to solve this, and you know the quadratic formula is x is equal to minus b plus minus under root d upon 2a. So, here minus b is minus 4. So, this is minus into minus 4 plus minus under root is 100 here. So, this is square root of 100 upon 2 into 1, 2a, that is 2. So, 4 plus minus 10 upon 2. So, it comes when you take 2 common from the numerator, it becomes 2 plus minus 5, denominator gets cancelled with 2, and we have 2 plus minus 5, right. So, one time you take plus, so 2 plus 5, and another 2 minus 5 is minus 3, minus 3 is rejected because h cannot be negative. So, the value of x is 7. So, Rahman's present age is 7 years. Rahman's present age is 7 years. Now, come to the question number 5 of this exercise 4.3. And the question is, in a class test, the sum of Shefali's marks in mathematics and English is 30. The sum of mathematics and English marks is 30. Okay. Had she got 2 marks more in mathematics and 3 marks less in English, the product of their marks would have been 210. The product of their marks would have been 210. Find her marks in the two subjects. Find her marks in the given two subjects, right? So, let the Shefali's marks in mathematics be x, and according to the question, the sum of mathematics marks and English marks is 30, and if mathematics marks be x, obviously the marks scored in English is 30 minus x. Marks scored in English is 30 minus x, right? So, here the marks scored in mathematics x, so the marks scored in English is 30 minus x, as the sum of these two marks is 30, right? Now, in next case, marks scored in mathematics is 2 marks more. Okay. So, that is x plus 2 marks scored in mathematics and 3 marks less in English. So, initially the marks scored in English 30 minus x. So, 3 marks less means 30 minus x minus 3, right. So, x plus 2 into 30 minus x minus 3 is equal to 210. So, this is x plus 2 into 27 minus x is equal to 210. Now, when you multiply this x with 27, you get 27x. Okay, when with x with minus x, it is minus x square, and when you 2 multiply with 27, we get 54, and 2 with minus x is minus 2x, right, is equal to 210. So, this is minus x square, 27x minus 2x becomes 25x, and this is 54 as it is, and the right hand side we have 210, right. And now, this is minus x, we multiply both sides with minus negative sign, and finally, the equation on the left hand side, we bring all the values on the left hand side. This is x square minus 25x minus 54 plus 210 is equal to 0. So, x square minus 25x plus 156, 210 minus 54 is 156, right. So, this is the quadratic equation. So, here the value of a is 1, that is the coefficient of x square. The value b is minus 25. What is b? That is coefficient of x, that is minus 25, and the constant term is 156. So, c is 156 here, right. And as you know, the formula, quadratic equation formula is x is equal to minus b plus minus under root minus 4ac upon 2a, right. So, minus b, the value of b is minus 25 here. So, minus 25 plus minus b square, that is minus 25 whole square, that is b square minus 4 into a into c, minus 4 into a into c. And finally, we have this 25 plus minus under root 625 minus 624 upon 2, and this is 25 plus minus 1 upon 2, 625 minus 624, and this is 25 plus 1 by 2, that is 13, and 25 minus 1 by 2 is 12. So, when the value of x is 13, the marks scored in maths 13, and the marks scored in English is 13 minus 13 is 27, and when the value of x here is 12, it means the marks scored in maths is 12, and the marks scored in English is 30 minus 12 is 18. Clear? Okay. Now, come to the sixth question of exercise 4.3. The diagonal of a rectangular, just wait, okay. The diagonal of a rectangular field is 60 meter more than the shorter side. Okay. If the longer side is 30 meter more than shorter side, find the sides of the field. Okay. So, the diagonal and longer side is related with the shorter side, right. Now, let the shorter side be x. Let the shorter side be x. So, what is about the longer side? 30 meter more. So, the value of longer side is x plus 30, clear, and the diagonal is 60 meter more than the shorter side. So, shorter side is x. So, this diagonal is x plus 60 meter. So, the diagonal is x plus 60 meter. Now, look at this triangle ABC here, ABD, by using the Pythagoras theorem, because this is 90 degree, ABCD is a rectangle. So, angle A is 90 and we have right angle triangle ABD. This is ABD is a right angle triangle, and by using Pythagoras, that is BD square, hypotenuse square is equal to sum of the square of the rest of the two sides, that is BD square is equal to AB square plus AD square. So, x plus 60 whole square is equal to x plus 30 whole square plus x square. Now, apply a plus b whole square. As you know, a plus b whole square is a square plus b square plus 2ab. So, here x square, fine, 2ab, 2 into a into b, that is 2 into 60 into x is 120x, okay, 120x, and 60 square is 3600. And on the right hand side we have x plus 30 whole square. So, x square plus 2ab, that is 2 into 30 into x is 60x, and 30 square, that is 900, and this x square is as it is, clear. Now, x square plus 120x plus 3600. Now, we shift to all these terms to the left hand side, and x square is minus x square minus 60x minus 900 minus x square is equal to 0, and when you solve, we get minus x square plus 60x plus 2700 is equal to 0. So, you multiply both sides with minus, and finally, the equation is this one, that is x square minus 60x minus 2700 is equal to 0, right. So, solve this quadratic equation by using quadratic formula. Here, value of A is 1, B is minus 60 and C is minus 2700. Okay, and the quadratic formula is x is equal to minus b plus minus under root b square minus 4ac upon 2a, clear. So, the value of b is minus 60. So, minus b is minus 60 plus minus under root b square minus 4ac. It means b square minus 60 whole square is 3600, minus 4 into a into c, that is 4 into minus 2700, that is plus 2700 into 4. Okay. And when you add these two, we get 14400. Okay. So, 4 into 2700 is this 8, this is 0, this is also 0, okay, and this is 1080, and when you add these two, we get 14,400, and the square root of 14,400 is 120. And we have two values of x here, one is 60 plus 120 upon 2, that is 180 upon 2 is 90, and one is 60 minus 120 upon 2, that is minus 60 upon 2 is minus 30, that is minus 30, clear. Now, shorter side of rectangle field is 90 meter, and the longer side is 30 more than shorter. So, 120. Here this is 120 meter, that is 90 plus 30, right. Now, come to question number 7 of exercise 4.3, right. The difference of squares of two numbers is 180. Okay. the difference of squares of two numbers is 180 and the square of the smaller is 8 times the larger number. The square of the smaller is 8 times the larger number. Find the two numbers. So, it is simple. Let the larger number be x and the smaller number be y, and according to the first condition the difference of the squares. So, x square minus y square is equal to 180. It is given that the difference of the square of the two numbers when the numbers are x and y, where x is greater than y, and according to the first condition the difference of the square, that is x square minus y square, is equal to 180, and second condition is the square of the smaller number is 8 times the larger number. This is second condition, this is first, and it is y square is equal to 8x. So, look at this first condition, x square minus y square is equal to 180, and the second one is y square is equal to 8x. So, in equation 1 we put the value of y square as 8x. So, it becomes x square minus 8x is equal to 180, and now you can solve this by using quadratic formula, and this is x square minus 8x is equal to 180, and finally x square minus 8x minus 180 is equal to 0. So, a is equal to 1, b is equal to minus 8, and c is equal to minus 180, and the formula you know this, x is equal to minus b plus minus under root b square minus 4 ac upon 2a, right. Now, put the values of a, b, c here in this formula. So, minus b is minus 8. So, this is minus 8 plus minus b square, that is minus 8 whole square, minus 4 into a is 1, right, and c is minus 180, clear. So, minus plus, so it is 8 plus minus 8 whole square is 64, and 4 into 180 is 720, and it is now 8 plus minus under root 64 plus 720 is 784, and the square root of 784 is 28, and we have 8 plus minus 28 upon 2. So, one time you take plus, that is 8 plus 28 upon 2, and one time you take minus 8 minus 28 upon 2 here. So, 36 by 2 and minus 20 by 2. So, 18 and minus 10, okay, 18 and minus 10. So, this minus 10, just wait, yes. So, when x is equal to 18, so y square is equal to 8 into 18, that is 144. So, the value of y is plus minus 12, okay, when the value of x is 18. Now, the value of when as x is minus 10, so y square becomes minus 80, okay. So, this is not possible, the square of a square root of negative number, right. So, we reject this value, that is minus 10, but you have to show this why we are rejecting, okay. So, the value of x is 18 and the value of y is plus minus 12 in this question. Now, look at question number 8, and the question is, find a train travel 360 kilometer at a uniform speed, okay. The distance covered is 360 kilometer, right. If the speed had been 5 kilometer per hour more, if the speed had been 5 kilometer per hour more, it would have taken 1 hour less for the same journey. Find the speed of the train, okay. So, just look at once again, a train travels 360 kilometer at a given speed, right. So, distance covered by the train is 360 kilometer with the uniform speed. Now, if the speed had been 5 kilometer per hour more, instead of initial speed we have to add the speed by 5 kilometers. So, 5 kilometer per hour more, and the time taken obviously 1 hour less, the time taken will be less as compared to the initial timings. So, find the speed of the train. So, we start our question from the last sentence, that is find the speed of the train. So, we say let the speed of the train be x kilometer per hour. So, let the speed of the train be x kilometer per hour. right, and the distance covered is 360 kilometer. So, what will be the time taken by the train? That is distance upon speed, that is 360 upon x hours, 360 upon x hours. Okay. Here this is the speed, this is your distance covered. So, what is the time taken is distance upon speed, that is 360 upon x hours. This is the initial condition. Clear? Now come to second condition. In second condition is saying the new speed is 5 kilometer per hour more. So, initially speed is x kilometer per hour. If we add 5 in that, it becomes x plus 5 kilometer per hour. Clear? Now, what is the new time taken? The new time taken is again the distance same, that is 360 upon x plus 5. So, we have two timings. This is the normal timings. This is the time taken by the train when we increase the speed by 5 kilometer per hour. If the speed increases, the time will be less. So, again here the numerator is 360, here the numerator is 360, the numerator is same. Now, check out the denominator, this is less than as compared to this. So, this factor is more than this one. Clear? So, this according to the question, the difference between these two timings is 1 hour, right. So, 360 upon x minus 360 upon x plus 5 is equal to 1. This is according to the question, right. Now, what you have to do is you have to take the LCM. On the left hand side, this is x plus 5. So, x into x plus 5 is the LCM here, and we need to multiply this 360 into x plus 5. So, 360 into x plus 5 minus 360 into x. So, 360 into x, 360 x plus 360 into 5, that is 1800 minus 360 x upon x square plus 5 x is equal to 1. So, 360 x plus 1800 minus 360 x upon x square plus 5 x is equal to 1, and the 360 cancel with minus 360 x, and finally, we get 1800 upon x square plus 5 x is equal to 1. 1800 upon x square plus 5 x is equal to 1, and finally, the equation is x square plus 5 x minus 1800 is equal to 0. The equation is x square plus 5 x minus 1800 is equal to 0. So, here the value of a is 1, that is coefficient of x square 1, fine. Coefficient of x is 5, so b is 5, and your constant term is minus 1800. So, the value of c is minus 1800, right. And the formula, you know, quadratic formula again, that is x is equal to minus b plus minus under root b square minus 4 ac upon 2a, minus b plus minus under root b square minus 4 ac upon 2a. Now, putting the value of a, b and c here, so b is 5, so minus 5 plus minus under root b square minus 4 into a into c, right. So, b square is 5 square is 25 plus 4 into 1800 and minus into minus is plus. So, 7200. So, it becomes 7225, and the square root of 7225 is 85. Okay. So, the square root of 7225 is 85. So, minus 5 plus minus 85 upon 2, right. So, minus 5 plus 85 upon 2, and here minus 5 minus 85 upon 2. So, the two values of x in this case, 80 by 2 is 40 and minus 90 by 2 is minus 45, and we are talking about the speed of the train, and the speed of the train cannot be negative. So, this value minus 45 is rejected, and the speed of the train is 40 kilometer per hour. So, the speed of the train is 40 kilometer per hour. Clear? Simple, eh? Okay. The question is simple. This is the question, fine, right. Initial speed x kilometer per hour, total distance to be covered is 360. So, normal time taken by the train is 360 upon x hours. Now, in the second case, the speed is increasing by 5 kilometer per hour. So, the new speed will be x plus 5 kilometer per hour, and distance remains the same, that is 360 kilometer. So, time taken in this case is 360 upon x plus 5, 360 upon x plus 5, but the time difference is 1 hour, right. This time difference is 1 hour. Okay. So, this minus this is equal to 1, right. So, 360 upon x minus 360 upon x plus 5 is equal to 1. Now, you take the LCM, LCM is x into x plus 5, this x into x plus 5. So, we multiply this 360 into x plus 5 minus 360 x, clear. So, 360 x plus 360 into 5, that is 1800 minus 360 x upon x square plus 5 x is equal to 1. So, 1800 upon x square plus 5 x is equal to 1, right. So, this is x square plus 5 x minus 1800 is 0, use quadratic formula, and the values of x, we have two values of x, that is 40 and minus 45. This is rejected because speed cannot be negative. So, we have the speed of the train as 40 kilometer per hour, right. Now, we come to the question number 9. And question is, two water taps together can fill a tank in 9 3/8 hours. Okay. The tap of larger diameter takes 10 hours less than the smaller one to fill the tank separately. Find the time in which each tap can separately fill the tank. Clear? Right. So, the question is, two water taps together can fill the tank in 9 3/8 hours. So, two water taps takes 75 upon 8 hours to fill a water tank, clear. But this is the first condition, but in the second condition is saying that tap of a larger diameter take 10 hours less as compared to the tap with the smaller diameter. So, we start our solution with that. Let the time taken by the larger tap to fill the tank is x hours. Larger tap can fill the tank in x hours. So, the time taken by the smaller one, okay, 10 hours more lagenge. So, x plus 10 hours, this is important. Let the time taken by larger tap to fill the tank is x hour. So, the time taken by smaller tap to fill the tank is x plus 10 hours. Is it clear? Right. Now, part of the tank filled by the larger tap in 1 hour is 1 by x part of the tank, and part of the tank filled by a smaller tap in 1 hour is 1 upon x plus 10, right. If total tank is filled in x hour, so what part of the tank will be filled in 1 hour, that is 1 by x part of the tank, right. And what part of the tank will be filled by the smaller pipe, that is 1 upon x plus 10. This is separately, clear. Now, when they open together, both tap can fill the tank in this much time, that is 9 3/8, that is 75 by 8 hours, clear. So, this is for 1 hour, this is for 1 hour. When they work together, they get 75 by 8 hours, right. So, now part of the tank filled by both taps in 1 hour is 1 upon, that is 1 upon 75 by 8. So, 1 upon 75 by 8 is 8 upon 75, right. So, this is important. Now, according to the question, part of the tank filled in 1 hour by one pipe and part of the tank filled by another tap in 1 hour, and when they work both together, then part of the tank filled is 8 upon 75, right, because total time taken is 8 upon 75 upon 8. So, in 1 hour, that is 8 upon 75, clear. So, this is your equation. Now, 1 upon x plus 1 upon x plus 10 is equal to 8 upon 75. Now, take the LCM, x into x plus 10, this is x plus 10 plus x in the numerator, and this is 8 upon 75. Now you can solve the numerator, that is x plus x is 2x and this is 10, and x when you multiply with x you will get x square, and this is 10x is equal to 8 by 75, and when you cross multiply it, and this is 75 into 2x plus 10 is equal to 8 into x square plus 10x, and finally the equation is 4x square minus 35x minus 375 is equal to 0. 4x square minus 35x minus 375 is equal to 0. Now, by splitting the middle term you can do this. Minus 35x can be written as minus 60 plus 25, because when you multiply 4 with 375, it's come 1500, and we have to make a factors of 1500 such that if we add we get minus 35, and if we multiply we get 1500. So, here 60 and 25, minus 60x plus 25x. You can use the quadratic formula also in this case, no issue about that. So, here we have done with the splitting the middle term. So, you can take common as 4x. So, it becomes x minus 15, and when you take 25 common from the last two terms, it becomes 25 in bracket x minus 15 is equal to 0. So, x minus 15 and this. So, minus 25 by 4 and x is equal to 15, right. So, the time cannot be negative again. So, we have to reject this, and fine, the larger tap can take 15 hours to fill that tank, and the smaller will take 15 plus 10, that is 25 hours, that is 25 hours. It is a very good question. And now come to question number 10. Wow, this is question number 10. This is question number 10, right. Now, here, fine. An express train takes 1 hour less than a passenger train to travel 132 kilometer. Okay, express train take 1 hour less as compared to express passenger train, right, to cover 132 kilometer. Between Mysore and Bangalore, without taking into consideration the time they stop at few of the station, if the average speed of the express train is 11 kilometer per hour more than that of the passenger train, find the average speed of the two trains. It's simple question. The second condition which is given, that the speed is 11 kilometer per hour more. So, let the average speed of the passenger train be x kilometer per hour. Here we are taking the average speed of the passenger train as x kilometer per hour. So, the speed of the passenger train is x kilometer per hour, and the speed of the express train will be x plus 11 kilometer per hour, right. So, this is speed of passenger train and this is the speed of express train. Now, it is given that the distance between Mysore and Bangalore is 132 kilometers. So, the distance is given, and we have speed also. So, what the time taken by the passenger train is distance upon speed. So, 132 upon x, right. So, this is 132 upon x hours is the time taken by passenger train, the time taken by express train is 132 upon x plus 11 hours, right. So, the time interval is 1 hour, the gap is 1 hour. So, 132 upon x minus 1 upon 132 upon x plus 11 is equal to 1. Okay. When the speed is more, the time will be less. So, here x plus 11, so time will be less by 1 hour. So, this time minus this time is equal to 1. So, 132 upon x minus 132 upon x plus 11 is equal to 1. Now, you can take the LCM as x into x plus 11, x into x plus 11, right. So, when you take the LCM, so it becomes x plus 11 into 132. So, 132 x plus 132 into 11 is 1452, and this is 132 x as it is. This is gone with this, and finally, the equation the quadratic equation which is in front of you is x square plus 11x minus 1452 is equal to 0. Now, splitting the middle term, okay. The factors by splitting the middle terms are 44x and 33x, that is 44x minus 33x. So, x square plus 44x minus 33x minus 1452. So, when you take x common, so this is x plus 44 minus 33 common, x plus 44 is equal to 0. So, x minus 33 into x plus 44 is equal to 0. So, the value of x is 33 and the value of here is minus 44. So, minus 44 we can cancel, right, because this is negative, the speed cannot be negative. So, we reject this value minus 44. So, the speed of the passenger train is 33 kilometer per hour and the speed of the express train is 44 kilometer per hour, right. Now, come to exercise again same 4.3 question number 11, right. So, this is your question number 11 and the question is sum of the areas of two squares is 468 meters square. Okay. If the difference of their perimeter is 24, find the sides of the two squares. Find the sides of the two squares, right. So, let each side of one of the square is x, and so the area of that square is x square and the perimeter of that square is 4x. Clear? Let length of each side of one of the square, for the larger square we are talking about, is x. So, area is x square and perimeter is 4x. Now, for smaller square, let the each side be y. So, area is y square meter square and perimeter is 4y. Clear? So, this is about area and the perimeter of the given two squares. Now, first condition is sum of the squares, area of the square. So, x square plus y square is equal to 468 and another is the difference between the perimeter, that is 4x minus 4y is equal to 24 and finally, the equation is x minus y is equal to 6, x minus y is equal to 6. So, from this equation we get the value x minus y is equal to 6, the value of x is 6 plus y, right. So, we have one of this equation and x is equal to 6 plus y is this one. So, we put the value of x here as 6 plus y. So, 6 plus y whole square plus y square. So, this is y square is equal to 468 and you use a plus b whole square here and by doing so this is 36 plus 12y plus y square is 468 and when you add y square plus y square becomes 2y square and 12y and this 4 minus 468 here and plus 36 is minus 432 is equal to 0, right. So, finally, the equation is y square plus 6y minus 216 is equal to 0. By splitting the middle term, we get two factors as plus 618y and minus 12 and out of the first two terms you take common y. So, it becomes y into y plus 18 minus 12 into y plus 18 is equal to 0. So, y plus 18 into y minus 12 is equal to 0. So, we have two values of y, one is y is equal to 12 and y is equal to minus 18. So, when you take y ka value as 12, x comes 6 plus 12, that is 18. So, the value of x is 18 and the value of y is 12. So, one of the side of one of the square is 18 and another side of another square is 12 and this value of minus 18 is rejected because length again cannot be negative, right. So, the two sides of the given squares are 12 meter and 18 meters. Clear? So, we have completed exercise 4.3 today, right. So, thank you very much and may God